Smart devices listening. Truth. A device sitting quietly in your room, responding instantly when you call its name, sounds helpful, almost magical. But at the same time, it raises a disturbing thought. Is it always listening? And if it is, what exactly is it doing with what it hears? This question has become one of the biggest concerns in modern technology. Smart devices are everywhere: phones, speakers, TVs, even cars, and they all seem to hear us. But the truth behind this is more complex than most people think. Smart devices such as voice assistants are designed to respond to specific commands known as wake words. These include phrases like "Hey Siri," "Alexa," or "OK Google." In order to detect these wake words, the device must constantly monitor audio from its surroundings. This means that technically, the device is always listening. However, there is an important distinction. Listening is not the same as recording. Most devices are programmed to only begin recording after they detect the wake word. Before activation, the device is in a passive listening mode. In this state, it continuously analyzes sound patterns but does not store or transmit full conversations. Instead, it uses lightweight algorithms to scan for the specific sound pattern of the wake word. This process happens locally on the device and is designed to be efficient and privacy conscious. This is why your device can respond instantly without constantly sending data to the internet. Once the wake word is detected, the device shifts into active mode. At this point, it begins recording what you say and sends that audio to cloud servers for processing. These servers use advanced artificial intelligence to convert your speech into text, understand your request, and generate a response. This entire process happens within milliseconds, creating the seamless experience users expect. However, the system is not perfect. Sometimes, devices mistakenly detect a wake word when none was intended.
This is known as a false trigger or misactivation. For example, a word in a conversation or a sound from a television might resemble the wake word closely enough to activate the device. When this happens, the device may record short snippets of audio unintentionally and send them for processing. While these recordings are usually brief, they contribute to concerns about privacy and control.
One of the most common misconceptions is that smart devices are constantly recording everything we say. In reality, this is not how they are designed to function. Continuous recording of all conversations would require massive storage, enormous processing power, and constant data transmission, making it impractical and inefficient. Instead, devices are built to listen selectively, only activating when necessary. That said, the real concern is not constant recording. It is what happens after recording begins. Once your voice command is captured, it is often stored on cloud servers. These recordings may be used to improve the system, train machine learning models, or personalize user experiences. In some cases, companies may retain this data for a certain period of time, depending on their policies and user settings. This raises important questions about data usage and privacy. What information is being stored? Who has access to it? How long is it kept? These questions are at the center of the debate around smart devices. While companies claim that data is used to improve services, critics argue that users are often unaware of how much information is being collected and how it is used. Another factor that contributes to concern is the sheer number of devices with microphones. Smart speakers, smartphones, smart TVs, and even home security systems can all have audio capabilities. This creates an environment where multiple devices are capable of listening at the same time. While each device may follow strict rules about when to record, the combined presence of these devices can make people feel as though they are constantly being monitored. Privacy concerns are not just theoretical, they are based on real-world incidents. There have been cases where voice recordings were reviewed by human contractors to improve system accuracy. There have also been instances where devices recorded conversations unintentionally and stored them in the cloud. Additionally, some legal cases have involved data from smart devices being used as evidence, raising further questions about how this information can be accessed. Despite these concerns, it is important to understand that smart devices are not designed to spy on users. Their primary function is to provide convenience and efficiency. Features like hands-free control, instant information, and smart home automation have made everyday tasks easier. The challenge lies in balancing these benefits with the need for privacy and security. To address these concerns, many companies have introduced privacy controls. Most devices now include options to delete stored voice recordings, disable data collection, or limit how data is used. Some devices also have physical mute buttons that completely turn off the microphone, ensuring that no audio is captured. These features give users more control over their data and help build trust. Another important aspect is the role of local processing. Advances in technology are allowing more tasks to be handled directly on the device, reducing the need to send data to the cloud. This not only improves speed, but also enhances privacy. For example, some voice assistants can now process simple commands entirely on device, without transmitting any data externally. However, the balance between convenience and privacy remains a key issue. Smart devices rely on data to function effectively. The more data they have, the better they can understand users and provide accurate responses.
But this also means that users must trust companies to handle their data responsibly. This trade-off is at the heart of modern digital life. Another important concern surrounding smart devices is security. Like any device connected to the internet, smart speakers, phones, and other voice-enabled technologies can be vulnerable to hacking or unauthorized access if they are not properly secured.
This does not mean they are unsafe by default, but it does mean users need to take responsibility for protecting their devices. Simple steps such as using strong and unique passwords, regularly updating software, and carefully reviewing app permissions can make a significant difference. These practices help close security gaps that hackers might exploit. When devices are properly maintained and secured, the risks associated with them are greatly reduced, making them safer to use in everyday life. It is also important to recognize that many fears about smart devices are influenced by misunderstandings or common myths. One widespread belief is that these devices are constantly listening to private conversations in order to serve targeted advertisements. While it may sometimes feel like this is happening, especially when ads seem unusually relevant, there is little evidence to support the idea that devices are actively recording conversations for advertising purposes. In reality, targeted ads are usually based on browsing history, search activity, and online behavior rather than voice recordings.
This misunderstanding often leads to unnecessary fear and mistrust of the technology. The feeling of being always watched or always listened to is often more psychological than technical. The mere presence of a device that can respond to your voice creates a heightened sense of awareness. People may feel uncomfortable knowing that a microphone is always ready to detect a command, even if it is not actively recording.
This reaction is natural, especially when dealing with technology that operates in ways that are not fully visible or easily understood. Human instinct tends to be cautious around anything that seems to observe or respond without clear boundaries. The question is not whether smart devices are listening. They are. The real question is how much control you have over what happens next. If you care about your privacy and the future of technology, hit that subscribe button now.